Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. Although we're a therapist, this podcast is not therapy and does not replace working with your own therapist. Everything shared here is for education, for general education and conversation only.
Welcome back to 200 Girls. I am Dobby,
And I'm Christina.
and we're two therapists who spend 40 hours a week helping others navigate their lives, and the other 128 hours wondering if we're doing ours entirely wrong. How are you, madam?
I'm doing well. I feel like this whole summer has been a heat wave, but I feel like we're in the midst of a heat wave, so I'm hot, but I'm okay. How are you?
I am doing very well. Thank you for asking. Yes, this summer, you know what? Honestly, I don't want to complain too much about the weather in America because I've been following what's going on in France, and it's pretty sad what's happening around Europe. They
What's
are They have terrible heat waves, no
oh,
rain in sight. Their
and
rivers and their water supply is dried up. Like, it's heartbreaking, truly.
yikes. Yikes. Yeah, we're getting too much rain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But stay cool, madam. Stay cool.
Yeah,
Are you under the AC right now?
I am. I am.
Okay.
I went out
Okay.
for a walk trying to be, active
Yeah.
and combat anxiety. So that's what you get.
I hear you. It is very challenging during the summertime, but I'm glad that you were able to go for a walk. You're going to cool
Thank
off
you.
shortly.
Yes, seriously.
Anyhow, today we're talking about the anxiety of big life changes, even the good ones. I think that we have touched on this in the past, but I think it's a great topic to talk about, especially because good changes, they still feel terrifying. They still can be extremely stressful. Ah, and even though we are experiencing these wonderful and beautiful new life chapters and big milestones, they still make you anxious, and it's still the same anxious response that we would have even when it comes to bad things.
Yeah. And good things, right? So
Yeah.
I think today what we're talking about is, well, the biggest misconception about anxiety is that it only shows up during these difficult seasons. But
Mhm.
that's not necessarily true. We want to talk about how anxiety can also show up during the happy moments of our lives, which can also be some of the most stressful times of our lives. So jumping into the spiraling, asking ourselves, have you ever wanted something for years and then you finally get it? And then immediately you find yourself thinking like, oh my gosh, oh no, like what if I mess this up? So I'm thinking of like if somebody buys their first house and
Mhm.
something, or like you get engaged or whatever, but then you find yourself feeling really overwhelmed by planning, the expectations, and everyone's opinions.
Absolutely. The question that we want everyone to ask themselves right now is what's changing in your life right now at this moment. It could be something exciting. It could be something unexpected. It could be something that you prayed for and now it's here, but yet you're still terrified. And if that's you, you're not alone. Like, we're all in it together, surely.
Yeah. Yeah. Becoming a parent or getting your dream job, like those are both such exciting times, but also can cause a lot of anxiety.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that where my mind goes is, to me, moving to Jersey was one of it truly was one of the pivotal moments of my life. It was so anxiety provoking because
Mhm.
I had had the same job for almost 10 years. I had been with the same clinic for 10 years. I did move once, but I was still very close to home, close to my parents, my siblings. It was less than a 20-minute drive. And moving to Jersey, it was over an hour. I knew I had to change jobs,
Mhm.
obtain my license, well, my practicing license in New Jersey, get a job in New Jersey, and to find a home in New Jersey. And that was the most stressful time of my life. But something that did help me cope with my anxious thoughts was I was afraid, I was fearful, I was very anxious, and I would tell myself, okay, what if I fail? Okay, but Dobby, what if you fly? I think it's a Walt Disney quote. I don't know if it's Dumbo or what, but I think that
Yeah.
it is that he's afraid of flying, but he ends up flying. So that's really what has guided me through life
I love
when
that.
I'm
It's a great
super
motto
scared.
to live by.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, okay, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be anxious, but what if you fly? Like, we need to try it. We need to go for it. And it's
Yeah.
okay. If we do fail, there's a teachable lesson there.
Yeah, and he did fly, Dobby soared, right? You have a beautiful
Dobby.
family, your husband. You still have your family close, and you have a beautiful home, and you have a job.
Amen. Amen.
But yeah,
Amen.
it is yeah, those are huge life transitions to I think it would be more weird if someone said, like, they're not anxious about all those things because that's a lot of change all at once.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you?
So, let's dive into Sorry?
Well, my question was you. Which was the most pivotal moment in your life?
Oh,
Like one of your biggest life changes that even though it was super positive and you wanted it, at the same time was very anxiety provoking.
well, the first thing that comes to mind is becoming a mom, but since I talk about that too much, the second, if not more, was getting married because,
Yeah.
for all that don't know, which many of you probably don't, I actually got engaged to my now husband after only dating for 11 months. And a lot of people would call me crazy, and yeah, it does sound crazy. But when you know, you know. And but that caused a lot of anxiety because my thoughts, like the intrusive thoughts, were like, wow, like I don't know all about this person, and I'm making a huge life decision, and we're having a wedding, like our families are becoming one. So it was it was definitely anxiety provoking during that time, and then obviously becoming a mom, which isn't a whole other thing in itself.
Yeah.
But
Well, first of all, you're never talking too much about your daughter and becoming a mom and about motherhood
yeah,
because I can only imagine how it's something that you carry incredible joy and all of a sudden you also have this huge responsibility and it is shocking.
yeah, it is a
And with your
shock.
husband, like honestly, when you know, I agree with you. And I always share with people when you meet someone later in life, I'm not calling you old, but when you meet
Most,
someone later on, like in your early 30s or whatnot, you know, and you know that you are to move at a quicker pace.
yeah.
You're not in
Not
your
even
20s
20
anymore. You can date for 5, 7 years and then make a decision.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you did
So
well.
thank you. I was gonna say, looking back on it, like the anxiety has dissipated, and I know we've only been married, what, 2 years, but so far so good.
And you have an incredible daughter, and now
Yeah.
you're parents, and you're navigating these new challenges and lifestyle changes together.
Yeah.
And I've always heard that there are certain pivotal moments in life that challenge the relationship, and children is one of them. So you guys survived it.
Oh my
Congratulations.
gosh, thank you. It is not easy, let me tell you. It is the biggest test of marriage, I'd say.
Oh yeah,
Ugh,
yeah.
but yeah, we got through it.
Anyhow, yes, you did, and you will continue to get through it one day at a time.
Yes.
So with that, let's go into our therapy insights. And this is something that we would like people to understand. And it is that good change, it's still change.
Mhm.
And our brains don't necessarily distinguish between positive stress and negative stress. It simply recognizes that, oh, something is different, something feels uncertain, something familiar, it's ending.
Mhm. Yeah. And recognizing that joyful transitions still involve loss. And this could be, when you get married, you do say goodbye to a version of your life that you're never going to get back. When you become a parent, you're gaining someone new, and you're also grieving who you used to be, which I know I've talked about
Yeah,
the postpartum episode. So even when you move, you're excited, but you also leave behind all the familiar places that you're used to, your routines. So like we always say, those two emotions can exist. And that's what we
absolutely.
want people to know.
Yeah, absolutely. That couldn't have been said any better.
Mhm,
And why our brains resist change sometimes. And that's because our brains love predictability. Predictability feels very safe, routines feel very safe. And even if we don't particularly like our current situation, at least it's familiar. And that's why sometimes people they stay in jobs that they hate, that they dislike. They stay in relationships that they know that are unhealthy and not the best for them, or routines that no longer serve them. Not necessarily because they're happy, but because uncertainty feels a little bit too much scarier or too challenging for them.
mhm. Yeah, and that's when anxiety kind of will ask us or creep in and say, like, "What if this doesn't work out?" Instead of what we should be saying is, like you said, like, "What if it does? What if we do fly? What if we don't fail?"
Yes, yes. And I love that. Well, another aspect of this that we should mention is the pressure that many individuals feel to be happy. Like with motherhood, it's one example that comes to mind where people would say, I should not feel anxious about this. I wanted this. I should be grateful. I should be thankful.
Mhm.
That is so challenging, especially when it comes to motherhood,
Yeah.
or someone who has struggled for a long time. They finally are a parent. And when their baby comes, they have postpartum anxiety and they don't want to talk about it or voice it because it's something that they wanted.
Right.
However, we do want to normalize that feeling anxious does not cancel your gratitude. Feeling overwhelmed does not mean that you made the wrong decision. You can be tremendously thankful for your miracle baby, for your new job, for your new home, for your healthy marriage, for the great husband, all at the same time,
Mhm.
truly.
Yeah.
Two things can be true at the same time. I know that we say that all the time, but right now it could not feel more true.
Yeah, seriously, and something else that just came to mind is, like, the big birthdays and those identity shifts, like, I'm thinking about, like, when you turn 30, right, or 40, we're not there yet, but we will be soon, or 50. Those big birthdays can cause a lot of anxiety because not it's it's, like, everything that comes along with that, right? Like, our brains start making the comparisons, "I thought I'd own a house by now, I thought I'd have kids." All those anxiety thoughts come to mind, but we want
Mhm.
to remember that life isn't a checklist and your timeline does not determine your worth.
Absolutely. One thing that I have learned is that growth, it's not comfortable.
Definitely not.
So, yeah, and that discomfort that we are to feel and sit through, it's where we truly do grow the most.
Mhm,
And I love that. But especially now in my 30s, especially in my mid 30s, it's when I really had to welcome it and
mhm,
allow it to happen and recognize that if I don't sit through this discomfort, the growth that I am wishing for, that I am praying for, it's not going to happen.
yeah.
So I need to do this. And that's something that I'm thankful for in my 30s. I'm not going to lie. I'll be in my 40s in a couple of years. And
Not
when
a
I think about
couple.
it, yes, in a couple of years. And when I think about it, my hope is that, wow, 20s, it's really about having fun. And of course, you have to make big life decisions that interfere with the rest of your life,
Mhm,
AKA like your career choice and whatnot.
yeah.
In your 30s, you truly are figuring
Right.
out big life decisions. Like
Mhm.
for you, as you mentioned, getting married, having your baby, it's it's a lot.
It's a lot.
And so I hope that my 40s are a little bit calmer, like that I am more settled within my own skin, my own self, that, I hope that uh, I have big wishes and hopes for my 40s, that it's not as stressful as 30s and 20s where you're figuring things out.
Yeah, they say, whoever they are, they say that that your 40s are the new 20s, so if you can just channel that, like, once you turn 40, you get to do things that maybe, I don't know, you didn't get to do in your 20s that you would still wanna do now?
Yeah, that might not be the case for me since I'm having children later in life. In my
Yeah.
40s, I will be raising children.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you could still channel your inner 20s somehow, some way.
Oh, Christina, for my 21st birthday, I went to Vegas and I'm going to leave it there.
Oh my god, that sounds like my biggest nightmare, honestly.
Yeah, no, my 20s were great. I'm very thankful for them. Very, very thankful. 30s, just a lot of figuring big life decisions, and
Yeah,
40s, looking forward to
good. Yeah, so I guess many of us might be wondering how can we support ourselves during all of these changes, the weddings, the babies, turning 30, 40, 50, um,
Yeah.
and what we've recognized that works for ourselves. It might sound silly, woo-woo, but just
Mhm.
remembering if you are in the middle of a big transition, really try to be gentle with yourself. Keep the routines where you can. Eat healthy, balanced meals, sleep, rest your body, move your body, stay connected to people you trust. And truly, I think the biggest thing is just celebrating the small wins. It's not all about these huge, big life transitions. Sometimes we just have to celebrate those small, tiny, tiny wins.
Yes, and we don't need to have life figure it out. Even your next big move,
Mhm.
um, you might not have a concrete plan, but as long as you know where you're heading and what you want for yourself, just take the next step, even if it's a tiny step.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we wish everyone the best. And with that, please don't forget that it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be afraid. But
Mhm.
what if you fly?
What if you fly?
Yeah. What if you fly? when I'm in big transitions, I ask myself, what if I fail, but what if I fly? So
That's
that's
great.
what helps me. Yeah. Okay, let's transition into our favorite segment, anxiety wins and guilty pleasures of the week. What was yours,
Yes.
Madam?
Let's see. My anxiety, excuse me. My anxiety when I've been trying to make an active effort to stay in the moment instead of like thinking about the future. So just, when I find myself thinking about like what's next for me, what's next for my family, I try to just like bring it back to today in the second in this moment. So I found myself
Yes.
trying to do that a couple times this week. And my guilty pleasure, as always, it's the summer. I think, yeah, I did try a new ice cream place,
Oh, nice.
which was really fun. I'll have to take you.
I would love that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's like a nostalgic ice cream place that they create their own flavors, but with like nostalgic things from childhood. So, like a lot of sprinkles and cookie dough and stuff like that. So, that was
Yeah.
fun.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it sounds delicious.
Yeah. What about you?
Um, well, this week was all about treating myself.
Mm. Hmm.
Yeah, I was inspired by you. I did take myself out for ice cream because I had really not done that in a long time. Like
Hmm.
this summer, well, it's too soon yet. Summer's not over, but I had not eaten as much ice cream as I usually would by now. So I did take myself for ice cream.
Good.
And lately, I have had this addiction to chicken parm. So right now, I'm just going to different restaurants, different towns, Googling their best chicken parm and going to the restaurant and
Oh,
ordering it.
wow.
So
I'm gonna
that's
make
been
you
great.
chicken parm, Dobby.
Oh my God, I will love that. And you are
Yeah.
Italian.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it for you. I'm gonna do that this weekend.
You don't have to,
No, I'm
but
going
thank you.
to.
Thank you so much. And there's just one thing that I wanted to mention as well.
Hmm.
Not a guilty pleasure, but this particular year has been very anxiety provoking for me. And I think that I mentioned earlier how much meditation has helped. And today I read something that I just need to read it here. I'm going to be very brief. I'm just going to read one quick paragraph.
Go for it.
And it was a research that they did. Okay. Researchers collected blood samples from 20 healthy
Healthy.
adult participants. They participated in a meditation retreat and examined their brains with MRI scans before and after the retreat. They found that afterward, the blood samples indicated a more flexible and adaptable metabolism, and brain activity became less pronounced in regions associated with internal mental chatter. The brain also seemed to show increased neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to change and form new neural
Mm,
connections. So this is not just about stress relief or relaxation,
yeah, the
says,
science behind it.
yeah, the co-author of the research. Noting the brain changes following meditation were similar to ones associated with psychedelic experiences. Okay, I'm not telling people to do psychedelics, but
No, no,
just
no.
saying, just wanted to mention how powerful meditation is,
Hmm.
how it really changes how our brain engages with reality.
Yeah,
And I just encourage everyone to give it a try, even if it's 1 minute.
yeah.
So the research was done on individuals who went on a 30-day retreat, but even 10 minutes of meditation, like I can only speak for myself.
Hmm.
I would do 10 minutes or even a 3-minute brief meditation, and it helps. And it has been helping me. So I'm thankful for that. And I just encourage everyone to try it.
Yeah, that's really cool. And keeping in mind that meditation can mean different things for different people, right? Like,
Oh, yes. That's
yeah,
true.
I'm thinking about prayer. I'm thinking about just sitting in silence and just meditating over like one quote over and over again. That can also be helpful too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's all true.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we should start wrapping it up.
Yeah.
So, with that, if today's episode resonated with you, we hope that you remember just because the season is beautiful, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be stressful. If you are overwhelmed by a big life transition, it doesn't mean that you are ungrateful or unthankful. It does not mean that you've made the wrong choice. It simply means that you are human. Growth growth always takes something from us and gives us something as well. It challenges us and invite us into uncertainty, into new routines, into new things. And every time something new comes into our life, anxiety tags along for the ride.
Yep. So wherever you are today, if you're starting over, if you're letting go of someone or something, if you're celebrating something new, you're turning a big age, just try to remember that you don't have to have every answer to take the next step. One day the life that feels unfamiliar could also simply just become your life and become your new normal. So thank you for spending time with us today. If this episode resonated with you or you thought about it, if you thought about someone, send it to them and we'd love for you to share it.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, everyone, and be gentle with yourselves. Bye bye.
Bye. I just